Alright, start now then.
Yeah, whenever you guys are ready. If you're ready to start now, you're more than welcome to. Just getting the lag for braking. There we are, and it's going to be Mark Leathem to brake. Whichever side is fine. You've got the you've also got on that table the actual score to put on. So we've got two games going on today. We've got Mark Leathem and Martin Horrocks, and then on the other match table we've got Clayton Humphries, Phil Naylor. And then we've also got Michael Murphy and Tom Price. Tom Price coming over from across the water to play. Normally plays in a lot of these Sharks tournaments. Joining us this time over in McNamara's. And fresh off, he's got a fair pick. There aren't really too many problem balls on either side. That's worked out well for him as well. You can just play this into the top corner, get an angle to potentially screw back from this middle left one to take the red on the side rail, which is really the only problem with it being split from the rest of the pack. It's not most ideal situation you'd want to be in, but I can't see there being too much of an issue here for him. It does fly into the side pocket. He's definitely going to want to be taking the one on the rail earlier rather than later. He doesn't want to leave that for one of his lasts just in case. Not opting to take it yet though. I'm not sure he's got the best of angles to follow through on this one. He's going to be looking to do it anyway. Yeah, he's done well there on this one. So I think at this point he is going to be looking to take the red on the side rail last. And if he just drops the one past the top left, he's then got a natural angle to come back down for the red on the rail. And there we are, natural angle created. The only thing he's got to be conscious of is he needs to leave himself the angle to come back up the table. Going past the yellows and having to top it through is really not something you want to be doing at this point. And that was always going to be one of the issues. He's dropped his cue, not in frustration, which is the important thing. First frame, minor mishaps like that can always be forgiven. And he's always got the wide double into the black for corner pockets still. The main problem is he runs the risk of leaving a relatively open clear. Yellows aren't really in a particular difficult spot. And with this, he has given him the angle to get on to the only yellow that is moderately difficult, shall we say. If he goes for the double, he's still got to leave his white in a position where he's going to be giving himself an opportunity on the next shot. So he might look to top it through so he can take that bottom yellow. I don't think he's got the angle for it. He looks like he's blocked by that middle yellow. So now this really is the make or break. I think it's definitely fair to say you can back Mark to finish that black from most places on the table, to be honest. Mark recently part of the 24-hour charity match that Chris Douglas had. Chris Douglas played for 24 hours. Mark Leathem was one of the competitors. And now Mark to sink this for frame one. But it's still a difficult pot. And I mean, if Martin gets back to the table, he's got, again, the angle to clear the two yellows on the bottom cushion. Should have left that yellow as insurance. I do think that was the insurance ball. But I think he backed himself to take it. And Mark has missed that by quite a margin. The good thing that Mark's got, actually, is he's not left himself. He's not left Martin with the easiest get onto the bottom two yellows. I mean, admittedly, there is a very, very large gap to take the right-hand yellow first. It's the first game, David, so, you know, minor errors are always going to happen. I think he clears these two, Dean. I think it's fair to say he's got plenty of an opportunity to take the bottom yellow, come back up for the yellow on the left, and then leave himself quite a nice angle to get back for the bottom yellow. It's just where he's looking to take the black is the question. We've seen him make one double today. It'd be interesting to see if he runs that risk on taking a double on the black. This is Macomb. This is for 2000, this one, I believe. And it is a race to 18. I'm not sure he's going to look to take that black on a double. Yeah, I think the problem is that, obviously, with this being the first frame, they're not used to how quick this table is at the moment. I think, given how the first frame's gone, there was always the potentially misses, but they are good players. There's no reason why they're going to be missing those. I mean, it's a fantastic long pot, given. It was a right black. I mean, given what we'd just seen earlier on in the frame, I'm pretty sure myself and you guys at home probably weren't expecting that to be finished. But the quality from both players is actually very high. It's just that, unfortunately, when you kind of, you know, you got your first frame, the tables have just been brushed, ironed. It's a lot faster than both of them are expecting it to be. Play any of these blokes for 2K? Well, I mean, it's one of those, we can't arrange those obviously here, but if you ever wanted, there's quite a few Facebook groups to set up with them. What rules is it? It is, I believe, black ball throughout all of them. haven't been informed anything differently until the first frame happens, or first foul happens, sorry. It's always relatively difficult to tell what rule set it is, and I think commentator's curse has just come in. We've got the first foul off the break, so we'll see what Mark does. If he uses his free shot on the first, then we know that it's obviously black ball. If he just gets the one, then we know it's international. All right. Yeah, not too bad, are you?
Not bad, lad.
They running like it's just perfect. Yeah, absolutely lovely. I mean, Mark's going to take time to consider this. He's definitely got to go reds. The red by the black. I'm not sure the black goes with it still being there, and that makes that the only real problem for yellows, to be honest. Well, we've just established it is absolutely black ball rules. No question in our mind about that now. And then we will be flicking between the two games today. And the caliber of players at this club as well is exceptionally high. I mean, last week we saw Chris Douglas doing his charity 24-hour stream, and he had the likes of Gareth Hibbert, who is world IPA two-time world champ. You had Dave McNamara, current pro, Tom Jones, current pro, Dave Arnold, who's currently in the amateur, all of those on Ultimate Pool in the amateur series this weekend. Ridiculous standard for a 2K match. I mean, we've got, at the moment in the club, so we've got a 2K match, a 3K match, and a 1K match. Just trying to remember where they're set up, or rather which tables they're on, because we are also streaming table number 1, which is Michael Murphy versus Tom Price, and I apologise, it's actually 2K a man, this one, so it's not even just a 2K match, Macomb, it's actually a 4K match in total. I think he's left himself enough of an angle to be able to come slightly back up for those two reds, and maybe think about clicking these cameras off and getting another game on. Unfortunately, the other game hasn't started just yet. I think he's all right here. I think the red still sneaks through into the middle, and if he can get the red to the middle, he's going to knock the other red towards the bottom right pocket. And he'll leave himself a relatively easy clear from there. He's just got to make sure he can finish off this one. I think he's more playing safe here. You know what? I'm not opposed to that shot at all. Great safety shot, total called by Martin. I don't necessarily think the white would have been lost. He didn't have to play it too hard, but he would have left every yellow open if he'd have missed. Where is this at? This is at Ormskirk, just northwest of Liverpool. That was always going to be an issue, playing the safety there. So Macomb, I do play pool myself. The reason I would have taken out the clear is exactly the reason we've just seen there. There is a massive risk. I advised going for the clear, not playing the snooker. I think the clear was something that Mark would normally have gone for. I'm not sure what the decision making was for not going for it on that one, but he clearly didn't back himself for that shot. It's only second frame in. But I agree, Dean. You do need to go for it, and I do think if we were to go back and kind of review that, I do think playing that red into the middle, the top of the two reds, would have left quite a good angle. And I tell you what, he's left a big pocket for Mark to screw back off of this right-hand red, knock it in off of the yellow, and come back for the red to the left. Yeah, the red definitely gets the yellow out. He can play it off of the cushion to give himself a bit of an angle to get the second red. The yellow will be gone. I don't think it should cause a problem. One of the only problems is that yellow coming back and knocking the other one out. But exactly as said, I think he can afford to make the cut on this red. It's not as tight as it looks. And if he just drops it in, he'll be able to come off from the middle red to leave himself quite nicely on the black to the bottom. Yep, absolutely perfect. And all he needs to do is drop this in. He can just stun. Doesn't need to be anything special. And then a black drop to the corner for one apiece. Perfect. And then... oh, red. That's okay, thank you. And then now we're just moving over as Tom Price and Michael Murphy playing for break.
Do you want just red?
Yeah, just red. Thank you. Are these cloths like the IPA's cloths? They will be of the highest quality. There's no world in which Mark. Large, please. There's no world in which Dave doesn't get the top cloth that he can. They are very, very fast, Dean. They have been brushed and ironed as well just before the matches. 220. Pardon? Yeah. Oh, absolutely it will.
Let's go.
There we are. KM has the information. Thank you very, very much, your staff. Oh, that is perfect. Thank you. I'll tell you what, given the fact that you're playing black ball here, it's all about what you do with your first shot, especially when you've got the cluster that you've got near the black there. And for a first frame, I think this sets up the tone for how both of these players is going to play. Well, the big issue he's got here is obviously with the break having been the foul, you always run the risk of leaving the table still open. Braid that cluster now. I think if it wasn't first game, I think if it wasn't kind of this is the frame in which they're both getting their queuing arm in, I think they would have taken the option to get the break on the cluster. And the reds not dropped. Yeah, good play to put the yellow safe and pot the red, taking reds from. It's a great pot. I'm not sure if he's got the cannon. I think he has. I think it slides past that yellow. And it's a great pot. He's not left anything on the red, though. And that's going to be unfortunate. It's a great safety play. It's going to make it very, very difficult for Tom to get anything off of that. Return safety. Can't argue it. I don't think it's a total. And that's the privilege with the cloths running very fast at the moment. What level are these lads playing at? It's difficult to say. It really is difficult to say. We've got a lot of lads in the club that play at a much higher level than what we're seeing here. And I think that's highlighted by that shot there because it's given him an out. And I definitely think this was Red's frame before that out. And if he's still got the angle for the double as well, he's going to leave himself on the black. It's unfortunate. Tad bit too much pace. I think a little bit less pace and he's probably got it. I think now yellows have a good opportunity. If he takes the top right yellow first, he's got the natural angle to clear out another problem ball on the right hand side. That's going to leave him a nice angle again, but it's just a miss. Right, so now Michael can pot. He's got to come back up and down the table. But when he comes back up and down the table, he's got two options really. He can either put it in the middle, which I think he's going to land on perfectly for. And that is going to be one. That's going to be 1-0 to Michael. Need to take their time. I think time is one issue. I think again, as we discussed earlier, it's definitely one of the situations where, again, first frame, it is a race to 21. You know, it's not a quick thing. We saw Tom Jones playing in a race to 25, and when he played in the race to 25, he went 15 all and then went 23-15. So I think at that point, you know, it just goes to show anything that can happen. Was a long yellow to take? I'd probably argue it wasn't. I mean, he could have taken... So he definitely could have taken that top yellow, and if he'd have just followed through, just a bit of top right, it'd have landed onto the problem yellow on the right-hand side of the table as well. After potting that, he had the top left yellow to take, which would have left him a good angle to get the other problem yellow that he had on the bottom left of the table. So he had the route. It was just the first shot miss, and a bit of, I suppose we'll say, positional error on the right as well. Just made it a tad bit difficult. Now, does he take this off of the red, or does he just go for a straight pot? He's gone for a straight pot, and he's knocked out the other yellow, and that is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Puts his hand up to apologise, but I mean, he's played it. It's a great shot. There isn't a shot clock, no. Now, this is going to be very, very difficult. I'd almost be wanting to keep that black there for insurance, that yellow there for the insurance. At this point, I think Michael doesn't really mind taking this bottom red to get himself an angle up table. And now, if Michael wants to, he's got a lot of opportunity for positional mishaps, should we say? Just like that one, unfortunately. Yeah, he's just opted for the safety. Great shot, right decision. So the opponent does get two if they foul. The first one being a free visit to the table where they can hit anything. Second one being their visit to the table where they have to play theirs. Just looking to get this screw back. He's missed completely on what he was looking for. And I think this is why he probably could have just taken the two reds first. International rules, it is not today, it's black ball rules. We've still got the angle to put it into the middle. Is this for dough? This is for dough. 2k on this one. Taking it to the top instead. I'll tell you what, that's a beautiful shot. Definitely backs himself. I think he had the opportunity for the middle as well. I don't think he would have minded either. Who's favourite? I would probably say Tom's quite a heavy favourite, I think. We'll move back over. Quite tactical frame going on. Over in the Mark Leathem, Martin Horrocks game. So Mark, just on reds. I definitely think if you're reds at the moment, you can give yourself quite a good safety shot here by just nudging the red off of the cushion. I wonder if he backs himself to get... I think he backed himself to get the long... to get the long combo. He's going to take the white. I've got to say, I think from where he was there, I think that's the wrong decision. He had a really, really good opportunity to get the yellow at the top of the table. Is it lost a turn if he pots his opponent ball? It's not just lost a turn, so that is in international rules. In this rule set, because we're playing black ball, it's a foul and 2 shots to your opponent, and that was always going to be the problem with picking up the white and taking that yellow at the bottom of the table. So now we've got another snooker, and I actually think his best way out of this is potentially off of the jaws of the top left pocket, which is crazy to say because there is a lot of opportunity for missing there. But the only other out that he's got is down, up, and down again. I think there's a lot that can go wrong here. I think there's a lot that's going to go wrong here. See, now he's got ball in hand. I would probably say clear those 2 problem reds at the bottom of the table, play the white ball up, and just play another safety. I think giving yourself as much opportunity for the next visit is probably the right way around this one. So if he plays these bottom 2 reds, gets the white ball back up the table, he can then play this bottom left red. He's chosen to take the white again. I'm not sure I completely agree with the position. I suppose he's trying to just cover that bottom pocket. And alright, I don't necessarily disagree with that if it covers, and he's covered it well, and now he's got the safety. Either or was the right move. He can even pot this, just get a ball off the table. There's no issues for it. He might be looking to put the white behind the red at the top of the table. I'll tell you what, he's played that very well. The only problem he's got now is he's going to be coming 2 shots and ball in hand. Yeah, so it's 2 shots. So on black ball, you get your 2 shots, and then what you can do is you can put the white ball behind the line if you want to. Yeah, so that is a definitive foul. So we're definitely back to what we said a moment ago, but Mark is a very reserved player. So I can imagine he'll still be looking for another 2 somewhere down the line if he can. I think he will be looking for another 2 at some point. He's got 2 here, and I still think the right decision was clearing out the bottom 2 reds with the first ones that he had. And I think at some point he's going to have to contemplate taking that earlier, because it does give him a lot of opportunities and potential to maneuver. Not sure if he's looking to play this down. I mean, you don't always have to take ball in hand. I personally wouldn't have taken ball in hand there, but I wouldn't have taken ball in hand on the last shot either. I'd have played the 2 reds at the top of the table just to open them up, because they're still going to cause an issue later on. He is one of the, shall we say, more methodical players. It takes a little bit longer per shot. But I think, as I said earlier, I think he's going to be looking to get another 2 shots out of this. I think he's going to just nudge this towards the bottom pocket, not looking to pot it. I'd be surprised if he looks to pot it. Yeah, just nudging it over, getting that 2. He's blocked what is the clear double. So it's going to be, I can imagine he's probably going to be looking for a treble from right to left. He's looking between the gap, I think. If he can get that, that's incredible. Yeah, it didn't look like it was going. And now, I think here's where, for me, I'd be playing the yellow directly into the middle of those 2 reds. You put the yellow safe, and you get your 2 reds out. Got to remember as well, these guys are playing for 4K at the moment. So he'll be more than okay taking it. I'm not going to switch game until this one's over. We'll switch after this frame's over. I think it's fair to both players. You know, they're both playing their challenge matches today. And at the end of the day, there are varying qualities and various speeds at which players play. So I think what he's thinking about at the moment is whether he plays yellow into these 2 reds, which is what we kind of spoke about at first, or whether he takes ball in hand and starts playing from bottom of the table up. I prefer the... Yeah, and I think he's going for it. I like this as well. Yeah, I much prefer that. And now he has got a pretty decent run. The only problem he's got is actually the second of the 2 reds on the right hand side, because he's going to have to take the right hand one first. At least I think if I were him, I'd be looking to take it. Isn't that foul? It's not in these rules, so the previous player had already fouled. That meant that he had a free visit to the table, and then he had his visit to the table as well. Yeah, so now he's just looking to take this one. Top left. I think he's left that absolutely perfectly. I don't think he's come as far as he'd want to there. But if he takes the one to the bottom left first, he'll have an angle on everything. These are black ball rules. These are one of the most played rules And that's the only reason why he took so long. That's the only reason he took so long to consider it. There we are. So as much as people discredited him for the time he was taking, he did a brilliant clear there, and everyone at the start of that frame was saying yellows had it. Yes, so essentially if someone fouls, you can foul the next shot and get another shot. Technically, yes, so what the first shot is on a foul is a free visit. So on the free visit, you can do anything that would normally classify as a foul, with the exception of, obviously, potting the black, and a ball still has to hit a cushion after the white ball makes contact with an object ball. Other than that, you're pretty much free. You're free to kind of hit anything you want. 2 shots, free ball, essentially. Yeah, just explaining the free ball rule for most. You can hit the black on a free ball. That's a great pot. He needs it to go just a tad further. Yeah, it does. I think he's got it past the black here. Great pot, difficult black. Yeah, that was a tough black. 2 apiece. And then I don't believe the third game has started yet, to my knowledge. Do you know if the third game started? Clayton?
No, Clayton hasn't turned up yet.
Fair enough.
Claiming frames, no me. Hey.
Half an hour later, probably looking too.
5 minutes a frame, isn't it? Hey.
Well, yeah. Well, I suppose without slow film plays, maybe 10 minutes, but
Yeah.
even still.
Oh, where he is. Didn't see him come in, but he's
Oh, I didn't see him coming either. Well, fair play to Phil, though, for not taking any.
I know, yeah. Waited on him patiently. Clayton's definitely playing my own games, isn't he?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. The black was an easy pot. I would wholeheartedly disagree with that, especially when money's on the line. Is Tom Price Welsh?
No.
No. I had no idea on that one myself. Is that Dino? Dean's not here, I don't think. No, not that I can see. I tell you what, I don't like it, but he's got the double. If he plays the first yellow onto the second, he's got the double, and there really isn't a safety on this. Yeah, I'm not. The reason there isn't too much of a safety is because once he plays that top left red, he's got an angle to clear out the red and the yellow combos. Oh, okay, I played against the Tom Price at under 18 level. Yeah, I know there's a couple of Tom Prices in the system, and I do know one of them is Welsh. So it would have been that one that played. No, this Tom Welsh, he normally plays in the Sharks weekly tournaments. Oh, and then we've got the third match that's just starting. So that's Clayton and Phil Naylor. Don't have a stream for that one, sadly, but we'll at least keep you updated with the scores. Oh, thank you, DG. I didn't see your comment there, TX. Yeah, it's just to protect. So it's to protect basically impact on the table from when somebody is racking the balls. Because you'd be surprised, you can leave small indents, and obviously with how much these tables get used, and how much both the players and the club wants them respected. That is a fantastic shot. And he's got some nice position. He's still got to get out the red that's just above the yellow, but I know he'll be looking to do that hopefully sooner rather than later. If he leaves that to his last shot, he's going to have a slight problem. I think he's looking potentially for the safety now. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Are they gambling? No, not at all. Where am I from? I'm from the south of England. What's the pot? So the pot for this match is 2k. The pot for the other match is 4k. Best place to get a pool table from? Beats me, boss, unfortunately. Not something I'd be able to give you an answer on that. Yeah, that's a great safety there from Tom. Pool table shop. Tell you what, you're not wrong. Well, it's not, despite appearances, as straight as it looks for that red to middle. So it's still going to be a difficult positional shot. Is this a new bar of David's? It is. It is. It's McNamara Sports Bar in Ormskirk. That's a fantastic pot. What a brilliant pot. He's unfortunate he's come a little bit far over, but I still think he can. He might be looking to hold. It's difficult to judge the angles from the camera. He might also be looking to play it just a little bit harder to go past it, which he has. Brilliant shot. Bit of a hampered queuing, but with the pots that he's pulled off, I think he should be okay from here. How many tables are in the bar? There are 8 tables here. So there's the two match tables that we're showing at the moment, and then there is a third just past both of these, and then the other 5 are situated just around the sports bar itself. Tell you what, it's a good break, and if nothing blocks that yellow to mid, he might be looking to take yellows here. But it's all about if he's been blocked of sight on that middle yellow, which I think he might have. He's looking at it, I think. Yeah, he wanted yellows, and I don't disagree with that decision at all. I think coming back to the table now, reds or yellows really are an absolutely fine colour set. Reds are always going to be the tougher clear. Not necessarily one that I'd want to pick, but I do think they all go now. So he's got 1 or 2 options really here. He's got the cannon, and if he takes the cannon, he is going to be left with quite a nice shot. He's not gone for the cannon. Instead, he's gone to try and clear out as much as possible. It's not worked out the greatest for him, but I think it was a good attempt. black ball rules, Grant. I'm not sure how much space he's got to take the red in a double anyway. I tell you what, although it's not worked out the best for him, what has worked out pretty well is he's blocked the double on that yellow just below the red. Why did he take 2 shots then? I don't believe he did. I think he just potted. I'm not sure I'd be wanting to clear out that red there. I'm not entirely sure what the decision making was. But that has made this really, really difficult for reds now. And I tell you what, there is that opportunity to clear if that middle one does go, and I think it does. Well, looks like these guys are actually playing international, so we've got international rules on this table, black ball rules on the other table. So that's what's been a tad bit confusing with the games. So apologies to those that have said this is black ball. It's black ball on the other table. I think the issue is RBS is that he really probably shouldn't have gone for that yellow first. It's quite an open one, and now he's left himself difficult again. Tell you what, great shot there though. So I definitely agree. I'd say it was a relatively easy layout, and I definitely think he should be going for the clearance here. How much are they playing for? So these two are playing for $2,000. I think we're going to be seeing this. I don't think anyone was arguing. Oh, I think, yeah, one person said lucky, 2 people said lucky. No, it definitely wasn't luck. He knew that there was quite a high probability of getting that. He's got a very, very nice layout here as well. Once he just drops this in, he's got an angle to come back and round for the black. Tell you what, they're not making it easy for themselves at the moment, but not the hardest, black. Please keep this game on. I'll be keeping this game on for a bit. We'll be changing frames every 2 or 3. Well, it's Martin Horrocks stream. So both of the games are being streamed. So we'll move back over. In fact, we'll move back over now because it is break. Well, problem balls for each, but this yellow closest to the white ball makes it absolutely lovely to land on. He's just looking to see if the yellow goes to the top left as we're looking. Surprised these two aren't still in the same game we left. I mean, I'm not gonna disagree with you on that one. They did just have an exceptionally tactical frame as well. Where is this place? So this place is in Ormskirk, just northwest Liverpool. Yeah, so he's going to be able to clear out. He's going to be able to clear out at least one of the problem balls, which is the one by the black. Can't say I have, Liam. Can't say I have. It's a great play there, and I think he's just come far enough up to get the angle as well on the yellow that's covering the black. Yeah, and then he's got a very, very nice angle here to just follow through, leave himself. Either yellow, really, depending on which one he wants to take first. It's whichever one he deems is going to give him the best opportunity to get back on that black. And I think he's decided the yellow on the bottom left is going to leave him the best one. Light, he might be a bad player to yourself. We have weekly flyers here. If you want to enter one and win it, please feel free. Only £10 entry, and it'll bag you a nice £400. And by the sounds of yourself, you are the best player we have on TikTok, so it would be fantastic to see you joining in with us. It looks like the black might pass the red if he's gone for it. What a finish. What a clear. Yeah, it was. Yep. So, it's fantastic break dish. What's the lowest amount of people play for? Here, we get quite a few. Normally the lowest is, I'd probably say, £1,000 or so. Light, I will be moderately impressed if you even make it out of the first round. But if you do happen to make it out of the first round and somehow pass the second round, I hope you have to play against Mark Leathem, because I tell you something, you'll by the sounds of how long you're willing to wait for a shot, I think you'll leave before the game's over. Do women often play here? We do actually have a few. We have so there's some women that will play in the events, and then there's a girl that often plays in a lot of the events as well. Obviously I won't name names because they're not on stream, so I don't think that would be appropriate. But yeah, there's plenty that play. I mean, you've got some across really all of the tournaments in the Northwest. We've got quite a good female player base. First to win 18 games is the winner. So on the table that we're currently watching, first to 18 frames is the winner. And on the other table that we've got, it's first to 21. What's the youngest player? I'd probably say one of the youngest that plays and plays to a high level is a young lad who also plays money matches. I think he's maybe 14, 15. There are younger players, but the reason I won't really kind of give too much of a mention is because they're learning. They're not necessarily at the highest at the highest level. But one player, a young lad who plays money matches across a couple of the venues, he's absolutely fantastic. Brilliant under pressure, and very well regarded as a player by most of the higher level players that play out of these clubs. You play snooker? I tell you what, if you play snooker, we've had quite a few of the snooker players that have transitioned to darts. There's actually a snooker player sat beside me now who is a phenomenal pool player as well. Phenomenal pool player. And yeah, he came from snooker. Obviously, positionally, he is brilliant. It's just the routing that sometimes can be the difficult thing to get your head around at first. I think it goes to show kind of the level of players, because I think at this point the yellow on the right to middle pocket, I think leaves a really good opportunity to kind of clear the table, but I just don't think he goes for it. Yeah, so he's gone for the one to the left instead of the one to the right. I think it would have been better to go for right, but you know, routing is one of those things that every player, or a lot of players, see different routes. It's only when you get to the really, really top tier levels that people start seeing similar routes. So I think the double is currently blocked by the double to middle is blocked by the yellow. The double to the bottom would have left a bit too much open. Had to play yellow right middle there, definitely. Yeah, I agree, Darren. Definitely agree. Are you a conservative or attacking player? So I'm a hugely attacking player. I'm ultra aggressive. I only play for clears. I lose almost every game I play because I only go for clears. So yeah, I play for fun, should we say. I don't play to win. And then when you get to the higher levels, you can play for fun and to win. And that's where I'm not quite at yet. Both people put the same amount in? Yes. Yep. Absolutely, Max. Can players of any level play here? Oh, absolutely. We've got loads of different calibers here. And I mean, literally loads. Even those that play the challenge matches like today. You'll get some that are my level, which is, I'd probably say, below the level we're seeing here, to be honest. I mean, these guys might look bad, but actually, when you're playing kind of this, it's crazy. It feels like it looks a lot easier than it actually is. Even the 15-year-old, admittedly, I believe the 15-year-old will probably have people who probably put him forward for the matches if he's willing to play them. That's kind of all it's about. Which is the winner gets. The winner of this match will get 4,000. The winner of the other match will get 2. Well, I think we're about to see that yellow to right mid going. What should you do to join? Well, depending on which club is near you, speak to the club, see if anybody's interested in playing a challenge match. The important thing is, whenever you do a challenge match, and it's got to be said, it's got to be made clear, both players have to be wholly willing to play those games. You can't just you can't try and encourage people to put in money where they can't afford it or anything like that. So long as you stick by those rules, money matches aren't an issue. Challenge matches, whatever you want to call them. 13 and play a bit of pool. Do you have any tips? Yeah, slow down. I don't know many of the younger players who take a lot of time on their shots. I know almost every one of the younger players that we have speed through pretty much everything. And one of their biggest improvements could probably be their routing, which they absolutely would do better on if they just took a bit more time. In that case, other kind of tips that I give personally is, you know, for the first couple of shots, you want to be looking through kind of 2-3 balls ahead, and if you're getting the perfect positioning on all of those 2-3, then you look 3-4. Chances are you're not going to be knowing exactly where you are going straight off the bat. You'll probably be able to do 1 or 2 balls ahead where you're getting the position absolutely perfect. Stop making that noise. I'm not going to stop drinking for your guys' sake. Deal with it. You can have one or two things. You can either have just the game and no commentary, or you can allow the commentator to have a little bit of a drink. If I came to your house and told you to shut up, you're slurping too loud, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be obliging by my request. So this game is Blackball. Drink for me. If it's any consolation, that was actually a slushy, and I'll tell you something. In this weather, it's absolutely needed. It was a necessity. Turn the volume down? Absolutely not. Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up. You wouldn't do it in the first place, Anthony. I've no doubt nobody is paying to listen to your voice anyway. Don't worry. And if they are, pretty sure they're telling you to turn it down too. I play pool for Hearts County Women. Have you got any tips to enhance my game? I mean, if you play for Hearts County Women, chances are you probably play at the same level I play at. I probably don't have any tips for you. You know what, Anthony? This is just for you. Hold on. I hope you turn your sound up for that. Is this a prize game? This is a prize game. This one is for 4K. Oh, you're right, John, mate. Lovely to see you in. Dying for a Tango Ice Blast now? Exactly. Exactly. I'll tell you what, Tango Ice Blasts, oh my god, they are beautiful. Well, I'll tell you what, you'll see in a second, John, just because what we'll do is once Mark pots this and leaves himself plumb on the black for the middle, I'll switch over. Beautiful, see? The commentator knows. I'll tell you what, I said I'd churn over. You asked how... did you ask how Clayton was getting on? Oh, you did. Sorry, I don't know why for some reason I thought you said Tom. Clayton is currently 3-0 down. However, I don't know if that's 3-0 in actual score or 3-0 because Clayton turned up half an hour late. Currently dying from norovirus. This is how I'm choosing to recover. I'll tell you what, great decision on how to recover. Tell you what, this is a great safety though. I think he might be looking to put some heavy right on this. See, because these guys are playing international rules, the problem Michael now has is Tom really does have an easy clear. Frame winner, that safety, absolutely agreed. Absolutely agreed. I think Tom's going for a combo. Okay. Interesting start. Probably not the one I'd have taken, but I mean, it's going to work for him, so... That really was a cheeky plant. I'm not sure. Be honest, I'm not sure. I'm still not sure how I feel about it. No. Yeah, just running it through. Got to be careful he doesn't plant onto the red with the white here is his only issue. So if he does, it might stop the cue ball dead, which is always going to be the issue with that. As we said just before he took it, that was always going to be what would cause the problem. And realistically, I think he might look to go for a double into the left. See, the reason I thought he might look to go for the double onto the left is because anywhere on that table, that red ball is potable, and he's going to be going for it. Michael is a very aggressive player, and that is the problem. The white ball is running fast today, though. I tell you what, he's got a shot, but it is not an easy one. It's hampered queuing, full table. It's well played, though. Very well played. 4 apiece. Yeah, every game in the arena, with the exception of Clayton's, is very, very close at the moment. Very close. Are these playing for money? They are playing for money. So this table is a 2K challenge match, and the other table is a 4K challenge match. Are flukes considered to be annoying when playing at a professional level? Sometimes, but sometimes not. So for the 4K match, yes, each player would have to stake 2K. And then for this match, no, it would be a K each. So the reason I've just left it on here is because the break was so good. I was considering moving over, but we might see... And don't get me wrong, it's still not an easy break dish, but we might actually see a break dish here coming out from Michael. Not a break dish, sorry. Or was it? Did Michael break? Did Michael break? Yeah, so it would be a break dish if he can get it, and I tell you what, he's on. He is on for it. And I tell you what, if it doesn't go in, he's on the black. That might be about as unlucky as I think I've seen. That was honestly gutting. Yeah, it was always going to be close. I think the other problem was because the tables have only just been brushed and ironed today, it was reclothed as well only a couple of days ago, so it is going fast. Very fast. But it's a credit to show how good his break was when you consider that both colours could have cleared. Yep, that was always going to be the way it goes. Well, that was Martin's shot there to try and get on the red. Total called. And I think Mark's just going to come and check it. And I think... Yeah, I think Mark's... Yeah, Mark's agreed to the total there. Terrible at shots when the cue ball is on the cushion. Any tips for that? Do you want to know my honest tip for that? And I think a few other players would agree. put yourself on the cushion and just keep practicing them. Give yourself easy shots to start with. Hi, Dougie. What's a total? Apologies, guys. So a total is when you are completely snookered. So what a total snooker is in black ball rules is when the white ball has no direct path to either thinnest side of any balls on the table. So if you have visibility of even the slightest slither of your ball, it can't be called as a total. If you can't see anything, it can be called as a total. Spin do I need to put on the cue ball for a rail shot? I mean, this is... I believe it's subjective because you can pot with anything. Typically when I'm doing rail shots, I'll put bottom, and then whichever side I'm aiming for is the side that I'll put the screw for. So for example, if I'm taking so where Mark's going now, if that was touching the cushion, I'd be putting left on it. But that being said, I have a pretty high success rate on rail shots. I've no doubt other players will use other spin. You do Tommy Jones for dough. Tell you what, I think everyone does, don't they? Easy money, Tommy. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a cracking game when we see... Tommy playing Gary again in the rematch. I think that'll be class. That will. The white balls are running fast, but not fast enough that that's going to go in. I think it would have hit the cushion anyway first. Gary, are you okay? I think I went to sleep having nightmares about that song. I'd say dreams, but the amount I heard it, I'm pretty sure it was nightmares. Tell you what, Mark has played fantastic clearance here. And it might have taken a little while, but I think it's definitely fair to say all they all needed to do was just get their queuing arm in. What are the other scores at the moment? So we've got Clayton Humphries, which is 3-2 down against Phil Naylor. Tom Price, who is 5-4 up against Michael Murphy. And then Mark Leathem and Martin Horrocks at 4 apiece. First few games warming up, isn't it? Oh, it almost always is. The only two players, in fact 3 players, that I've seen recently who haven't needed any sort of warm up are all pro players. So Gareth Hibbert, when he played against Chris, that was just a ridiculous standard right from the off. Tom Jones, when he played against Gary Bracken, his first 2 frames were brilliant. Gary was needing to warm up. And then finally Dave McNamara, when he played Chris as well. Dave just came in, I think second frame in, might have been first frame. For anyone who hasn't seen it on his TikTok, go to his TikTok, go and watch it. He wore the Iron Man mask, broken dished in it. It was ridiculous. Are they good? The 3 players I just mentioned are all pro players, so they are very good. I had 6 dishes in a row from the start last week in my money match. Went 6-0 up and 115.9. This is what I mean. Like, it's when they start coming back as well in any capacity, and it's that scoreline. You think to yourself, "Oh my, what is going to happen?" But when I played Jeffers. Actually, to be fair, no. So what I'm saying, so Chris, what I was saying was like the very, very first frames, because at that point, it's worth saying, you'd had maybe 70 frames warm up, but you did absolutely. I mean, you absolutely smashed that. That was some of the best pool. That was some of the best pool I'd seen that whole night. I tell you what. That plant was filthy. I know Jeffers used to play snooker. I didn't know that. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. His Q action is very good. Speaking of Q actions, I'll tell you what. When he was talking about it, Dean Hume, his Q action. I watched some of the games back, and I actually love watching. I love watching Dean play because his Q action is one of the more quirky ones. It actually makes for a really good watch, because you think to yourself, there's no way he can pop this, and then he pulls off some stunners and you're like, what on earth has just happened there? Midnight Massacre DVD starring Ant Jeffers pending. I think that'd make a few sales. That would. What size is the table? Big. No, I don't know. I think it's 6 foot. Yeah, 6 foot or 7. I'm trying to imagine myself lying down beside it and thinking, am I going to be the same height, or is it going to be bigger than me? I came in Jakarta soon. Wish me luck. Good luck. Good luck. And then, Stephen, I think you said you had one in Runcorn later, didn't you? Good luck for that one as well. What are you playing to? What rule set? And what are you playing for? Is Jeffers from Liverpool? Yes, believe so. He's not from there. He plays out at quite a few of the clubs here. So yeah. This is where he tells me he's actually from across the pond, and I've just insulted him by saying he's from Liverpool. Black Ball first to 18,000 pounds, same cat as these two. Nice. Good luck, Stephen, mate. Going to be some clearance to take this out. Jeffs is a Scouser from Old Swan. Ah, see, I didn't know that. Did not know that. Just looks long. I just bought a 7x4. Oh, the reason it probably looks long as well is the camera angle probably distorts it slightly. I think that white ball's going in. Oh no, that's well played. Stream makes it look like a snooker table. Yeah, I could definitely make it look smaller if I zoomed out, but I'm conscious we are streaming to TikTok, so if I zoom out, I imagine some people won't even be able to see at all. And guys, we've now got the Twitch going as well. We're not streaming on it just yet, so we just want to get a few more followers, but if you use Twitch at all, McNamara's Sports Bar is now on Twitch, so it'd be really good if you guys could drop a follow. It's the same logo as the McNamara's Sports Bar logo, but it would be good to be getting onto that, because I think YouTube unfortunately isn't really the right platform for streaming. We want to be one of the first sports bars in the country to be partnered on Twitch, so if you guys can make that happen as well, it would be great. Great shot there. If that black doesn't block that yellow, this is going to be perfect for him. And now the black goes past. Now that the black goes past that yellow, or the red, sorry, he can use that bottom yellow as his last to leave himself a lovely angle. Just followed on Twitch. Appreciate that, Hayden. Appreciate that a lot. it's always tough getting started on Twitch, and once we move over to Twitch, the commentary will be stopping on TikTok, and it will be a Twitch only asset. Plus we can stop all of these really weird people that are trying to promote themselves that no one really cares about. Me too, appreciate that, Stephen. Thank you very, very much. Like I say, you'll lose the commentary on TikTok soon, but you'll have the commentary on Twitch. And who knows, you may even get my commentary in one of the pro settings at some point. Both frames have just finished up, so what we'll do is we'll move back over to the Michael Murphy Tom Price match. Tom Price now 6-5 ahead. It really is good to see just how close all of these frames are today. So Phil Naylor is now 4-3 ahead. Tom Price is 6-5 ahead. Martin Horrocks is 5-4 ahead. So every single frame is within one. We've got a 4-3, a 5-4, and a 6-5. Tom Price easy money. I don't know, you know. It's been a really close set of games. Okay, so one of the big issues here is yellows have a lot of outs. But not just that. The problem yellow is actually only the one that is at the top right of the table, and it stops being a problem if Tom can find a way to just follow this one through now. Play the yellow that's near the middle red. He would be able to play that. I don't think he's come around the table enough to have a look at it, because he had a really good opportunity there. It is international rules though, so it's only a loss of turn. So it is still a well played shot, but he did have that yellow from the middle right to go up, and he could have cleared the red out. And then he clears two problems. The issue now is he's now still got a problem ball. I think that's going to be too hard. And he's given him what I think might be the perfect angle to get a screw back. Because I don't think he's dead straight, so he's going to be able to screw into this pack now. Although he's going to clear out the reds, he should clear his yellows too. Yeah, look at that. He's very close, but he's got a gap. He's not touching. Yeah, I think that's absolutely fine, that one. That was a bad idea, though. Which one? The one that he played initially? Well, that's one way to have a loss of turn. The thing that you don't want to do in situations like this is chase the clearance too much if it's just not there. So I think Michael's going to have to try and find a way to give himself somewhat of a safety. I don't know if this red plants to middle. If it doesn't, there's nowhere to hide. I mean, it's great white ball. That is a great white. If you're going to do anything, make it difficult as possible. We were discussing in chat already the difficulties of playing the white when you're playing it off the rail. And there's a chance he just... Yep. And that's where the difficulty comes in. I mean, again, though, great white. Both of them have had to play it off the cushion. And I think... Don't know if the white ball slides past that red, but if he looks to play this to back left, he runs the risk of going in off. don't know what I'm talking about. Clearly there was no risk. I don't always get it right, in fact. 60% of the time, I'm right every time. That's well played. It's a great shot as well. He can take this one now to middle, and so long as he doesn't leave himself behind that red at all, which I don't think should be too much of an issue. He's then got quite a nice finish on. He doesn't want to be hampered like that though. He's jabbed down before in this game and it's not gone great for him, but this time absolutely sublime. Yep, great clear. Just got Mark at the table. Imagine he's going to try and find a way to clear out these problem balls at some point. What a shot. I tell you what, he's unlucky to have not got anything from that.
Every time you drive,
Just going to switch back over because the break from Michael is a really good one and Reds are in a fantastic spot. And he's got a potential break dish again. He's not come round enough, but once he swings this round one round, he just doesn't want to knock this too far. I tell you what, he's in a good spot. I don't think the yellow's blocked it, so he's in a really good spot here. He can probably just screw behind the gap. Stephen, I think you couldn't have said that at a better time. Yep. Yep, point absolutely proven. When are you getting in the commentary booth with me, Stephen? I didn't even get a chance to say it before you did. Thing is, I think now this is where we see... What is it going to be called on Twitch, please? It will be McNamara's Sports Bar. Yes, I'm very aware that's a long title and one that probably should be shortened at some point, which we will. But if you can give it a follow on Twitch, it would be massively appreciated. That's where, hopefully, we can be the first sports bar in the world to be Twitch Prime. But yeah, never miss when we're watching. No, absolutely. Absolutely. I've never missed in my life. Do you want me to have a look? Where is this sports bar? It's in Ormskirk, northwest Liverpool. Or northwest of Liverpool. So just to clarify for anyone watching there, the two players just having a dispute on the touching ball. So just went to take a look and it was a touching. All that means is that the player doesn't have to make contact with another ball since it's already touching his. All he's then got to do is hit a cushion. Norms, Kirkamani and Crosby. Oh, good place. Good place, Crosby. good safety, but given the fact that they're playing international rules, so is Clay 3 down for being late, Josh? I don't actually know. All I know is that Clayton is currently 4 apiece with Phil. I don't know if Phil took 3 frames. Personally, if he didn't, I think he should have. Just because I think we can all agree, especially when you're playing for money, you can't be turning up half an hour late. But at the same time, I mean, Phil is again, a bit like Mark. He's a relatively methodical player. He takes his time more than anything else. I would be very, very surprised if Phil had got through that many frames this quickly. It's not gone in, and he might have left the angle as well. And if he has, he can top this through, come down towards the bottom of the table, and do a deep screw on his next shot. I think this speaks to mentality from the start of the frame. So from the start of the frame, I think Michael knows he probably should have had a break dish. When he didn't get it, I think from there he struggled to get some of the more basic pots, just because, you know, your head can go. For some players, missing that break dish feels like losing the frame already. So I think he's already got his head in that space. I mean, that is a big miss from Tom, though. Is the snooker pool bar still open in McGall? I'll be honest, I don't actually know. I don't know McGall that well. But I'll tell you what, he has got so unlucky there. So unbelievably unlucky. I'll be honest, I don't actually know. It's just horrible. I don't know McGall that well. But I'll tell you what, these can't be professionals. If so, on pro level, these aren't professionals. These are just amateur players who just play for the challenge matches. So the pros, most of the pros were on last week. So we had Chris Douglas, who is a amateur. He's played in some of the amateur series for like Ultimate Pool. Then you've got Dave McNamara, who's obviously our resident pro. We had Gareth Hibbert, who is an IPA 2-time world champion. Tommy Jones, also an Ultimate Pool pro. Dave Arnold, who is an ex-pro. I tell you what, he hasn't meant for it to get to go that well, but that is about as perfect as you can get from it and hope. Before anyone says it, they are playing international rules, so all that is a loss of turn from potting his opponent's ball. Now, if he'd have potted the black in the same shot, that would have been a whole different story. What scores Clayton's game? I believe Clayton's game when I last looked was 4 apiece. It is now 5-4 to Phil Naylor. Now, I'll tell you what, Michael deserved that frame from the very start. He was unfortunate not to get the break dish. I think if he'd have got that one pot, the bottom left that he was going for, he probably would have got the break dish. But 7-6 again, still close frames. And moving over to Mark Leatham's game, it's about to be 7-4 to Martin. There we are. Any money games going on? Both of these are, Stephen. Both of these are. So we've got we've got this game which is on for 4K, the other stream table which is on for 2K, and then we've got a final table that is on for 1000. I tell you what, that is a cracking break. That's really unfortunate that he's gone in off there. And because these guys are, again, this table is the one that's playing black ball. So at this point, he has one free visit to the table. So an open table, as it's sometimes called. And then he has a second visit as well. So with the first visit, what you'll typically see from a lot of the high level players is they'll look to do what's called they'll look to develop. They'll look to make a development shot. So what they'll do is they'll typically play as many of the problem balls out of the way. Now the issue is yellows have 2 problem balls, so they have the 2 on the right side of the table as we're looking, and red has 2 problem balls as well. So the problem balls for red is the top one and the one on the right hand side of the table as we're looking as well. The issue is he's not actually done too much to develop the problems. He's developed one of either problem ball, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's great for him. The one thing that he has done, he's given a good opportunity for the 2 yellows on the right hand side to be doubled, which is fine, but it's a risk you don't really want to take. I assume this red also doubles, which it does look like it does. Good way to get rid of one of the problems. I'm not sure if that red at the top left on the left hand side actually sneaks past that yellow. If it does, that's great. If it doesn't, it's not. That has now potentially cleared one of the only problems that yellows had. How come all cloths are grey now and white balls have the red spots on? So white balls having the red spots on has been kind of a staple of pro play for quite a while. It's more to show spin, I believe. I don't think there's really been any other real major purpose for it. As for the grey cloths, I couldn't tell you exactly. I just know that grey cloths became quite popular. What I will say is, for streaming purposes, I do think the greys just look cleaner. It's a lot more... It just has a lot more visibility, in my opinion. That being said, it's purely opinion-based. One thing that I think a lot of players... Oh, my word, that was a fantastic shot there. Absolutely fantastic. Purely for the TV cameras. Yeah, I think all of them really are for the TVs. I think that's what it's all for. You know, it's all about streaming purposes. Let's just have a look at this again. One thing that I think a lot of players... Oh, yeah, my word, that was a fantastic shot. It's a good play, but he's going to have to top through, take it to middle, which I think he can do. It's just about getting the power in your shot to follow through enough to be able to get that yellow back to middle and then hold for the black, because the black doesn't pass, or at least I don't believe passes the red on the right-hand side. He's likely not going to need it to, but it does mean that when he plays this shot, he can't afford to land too far up like he has. Or too far... Yeah, too far up, not enough kind of toward the scoreboard. Yeah, that was class. That was absolutely brilliant. And now, especially in a race to 18, it's really not what you want to be. Getting to that halfway mark and not being a quarter of the way through the game is tough. Is very tough. And Michael is playing he's playing some really good shots. I think his problem is that unfortunately he's just going a bit too quick sometimes. Coming for the first time to watch a money match in October, any recommendations on hotels? Oh, that's a tough one. I think if you're going for hotels, you've likely got to look for Liverpool hotels. I'd be surprised if there's anything kind of outside of that. Liverpool it does have some good connections into Ormskirk. I think the problem that you'll have is that if you're not in Ormskirk, then getting home late is likely gonna be a taxi ride. I know that was Gary's. So Gary Bracken, when he came here to play his money match, that was one of his issues. Me and my partner actually gave him a lift home, lift back to the hotel, and I can't remember where he stayed, but the one that he stayed at was a lovely hotel. Let me just try it. I think it was called like the Adelphi or something like that. Yeah, so the Adelphi Hotel was where they were staying. Not sure of prices or anything like that. I just know that he said it wasn't a bad one. It's where they have some of the events throughout Liverpool. Gonna look for combination shot. I tell you what, you can't get any closer without dropping there, can you? Cannot get any closer. Combination shot. Heartbreaking. Oh. Used to watch money games at White Rose. I think it was called at Ossett. Yeah, White Rose and Ossett. Yep, I know the one. I've played a few games at White Rose myself. They're actually one of the they are one of the clubs that I wanted to rival the streams of. Actually, they have a fantastic stream as well. How's this for $2,000? Well, what happens is people put money down, and cumulatively it gets to a figure that is just above 1,999 and just below 2,001. And yeah, that's how it works. I'm here all week. If you need any more math tips, I'm your man. what's more unlucky about that as well is how he's clipped the white with the red. So he's actually ended up blocking the shot. Michael's not going to be too happy with that. I don't think the red is touching. The red wasn't touching the cushion either. So this is going to be tough. But what it does give Tom the opportunity to do now, though, is just kind of tap this red up towards the top of the table. Yep, and leave the white just there, which is exactly what you want to do. You don't want it to go in, though. Just over. Oh, this might... I tell you what, if that carried on going, I think it would have blocked the red. The fact that it didn't has given Tom a really good opportunity. So, to the person who was asking about hotels, I've been corrected by YouTube, who have told me that the hotel in question is probably not the one you want to go to, and Titanic Hotel is your best. I'll tell you something. That was a great shot. He's just played that so casually as well. Fantastic pot. The hotel in question is probably not the one you want to go to, and Titanic Hotel is your best. Great play. Absolutely fantastic play. So, scores on the doors. We've got 6 apiece for Clayton Humphries and Phil Naylor. 9-6 to Tom in this match, and then 8-4 to Martin Horrocks against Mark Leathem. Adora is watching with me from South Africa. Hello, Caitlin. Hope you're having a lovely day. You're watching some good pool. Very privileged. I'd say he's got unlucky here. However, that yellow that's just on top of the pack, I think, and I mean, this is just something that I think I would go for as a more attacking player. I think he actually plays off of the first yellow and can actually still go in. Bit of a trick shot, but... And that's going to be frame. Watching from Zambia. Hello to Zambia. So that is an unfortunate way to lose a frame. Skip over and see how Mark and Martin are getting on. Feels like every time I switch over to these two, we get one of two views. We either get an unbelievably tactical frame that makes no sense as to how we got there, or we get this. And I was going to say it's relatively open. If he'd have potted that, he would have been in the worst position he could possibly have dreamed of. I think now when you're Martin, letting Mark comes back to the table gives him... If he potted it, his white wouldn't have been there. I mean, that is true. However, he only missed it by an absolute margin. So it wouldn't be too far out from where he was. But no, you are absolutely spot on. He wouldn't have been there. Maybe he should have chosen his lime green outfit instead. Well, fortunately, for me, he's not absolutely killing the camera. And I can confirm, as bright as it looks on the camera, it really is that bright in person as well. Great white though. This is going to make a very, very natural angle going through. He'll be able to take that black right mid without an issue if he can pot that. He's got some uncharacteristic mistakes. It's not like him to miss something like that. I think he's just dropped his arm as he's taken that last shot. Now, the way Martin's been playing, I completely trust that. And that... Can't doubt it, can you? You cannot doubt it. Beautiful shot, beautiful screw back. Yeah, it should be an easy pot to the middle. 650. Who's running the gaff today? Me, mate. I am. No, I'm kidding. It's Ian. Ian's running gaff today. He is, I believe, on his own, which left myself to iron the tables, which, let's be honest, that's why they're running so fast. Can I say I do it all? You need your tables ironed, you need your streams done, you need top quality banter that abuses everybody who's watching. I'm your man. Any players using a 9.5 tip? I'm a snooker player but love pool too and don't want to have 2 queues. There's a few. Is very rare. Is very rare. Most of the players use an 8 to 8.5. I don't think he needs help, to be honest. He's all right. He's got time to be kicking bottles around the place. So I think he should be good. I'll give him an arse though. But no, I know myself. I've got an 8 mil tip. What do you use?
I use an 8.5, mate.
Yeah. So we've got one player that uses an 8.5 and he's a snooker. You're snooker main, aren't you, as well?
Nah, I just play pool, mate.
You just play pool? Yeah. Right, okay. I wasn't sure if you played snooker as well. So yeah, I think consensus is typically 8 to 8.5. You've got some players, I know one who plays with a 7.2 and it does my head in because it's such a tiny tip. I'm not really sure how he doesn't miscue every 2 seconds, but then I kind of, in hindsight, look back and realise I'm an awful player, so I've got no right in saying how somebody can and can't queue. How is Clayton getting on? I'll just check for you, bud. So Clayton is 6 apiece. Couldn't use that for snooker. 9mm could be hybrid at a stretch for me, perhaps. If I'm honest, I think 9mm would be fine. I genuinely think 9mm would be fine. You'll struggle getting some of the more prominent, obviously, positional plays just because the white ball is notoriously a hell of a lot smaller, a hell of a lot lighter. So the difference a 9mm and a 9.5 can make to an 8 or an 8.5 is, I would say, more dramatic than you'd think. Okay. It is, yeah. I'll tell you what, I'll come up because I'm gonna come up anyway. See, I go for 2 seconds and the desperate people come back out. He was looking to take the loss of frame there. Oh, well, that's definitely going to be a foul. For any of those new players tuning in who haven't seen don't know the rule sets, this is international rules. Similarly to black ball and world rules, you do still need to touch a cushion. So that's the only reason that one there was a foul. Not going to be too disappointed with that. Again, just a loss of frame. Jordan, I'll move over to the Horrocks game just after this frame. The Horrocks game is quite... At the moment, I'm not going to say one-sided because that's not really fair. Horrocks has been playing really, really good. So I wouldn't say it's one-sided. I'd more just say there's a tad bit of a struggle from Mark to get fully started. Is he going to go for the double is the question, or is he just going to go for loss of turn? It's a great loss of turn as well. He's played that really well. Well, that's going to keep him at the table. I mean, the only problem he's got is the double here, the back double. I thought would have been a really good shot. I imagine he didn't want to leave himself. He didn't want to leave too many opportunities for Tom, but he's left himself in a position that can leave him to be snookered if he's not careful. I'm not going to say that pool is like chess, but it certainly has chess elements in the sense of how many moves you've got to think ahead. Some of the top players in the world, the minute they break, the reason that the first shot is the one where they're most likely to take their extension is because what they'll do is they'll think, where can I go? Where are my problems? How do I get rid of them? What gets me onto the black? Which pocket is my black going into? Some players run a black back method, which is where they'll think, right, where do I want the black? What's my next ball that's going to get me onto that? What's the one that's going to get me onto it after that? Etc, etc, and they keep running backwards. And again, anybody who's watching, if you do have Twitch, please do go and drop a follow to McNamara's Sports Bar. The reason I say that is because at some point we'll be moving and transitioning from YouTube over to Twitch. And when we do, we want to be one of the first sports bars in the world to be Twitch partnered. So that would require over 100 concurrent viewers per stream. So if you guys can help out with that, it would be massively appreciated. It'll make all the difference. The more we can get visibility like that, the more we can do with these streams. It's a good pot. It's a good pot, and it is good positioning. It's going to be 11-7 to Tom. We've just got Martin at the table in the Mark Martin match. So thank you very much to the people who have gone over to the Twitch to drop a follow. For those who haven't, please do take just a, you know, just what, 30 seconds out of your day to go and drop one. Stephen, you're a star. Thank you very much. It's definitely fair to say that Martin is now in his rhythm. Scores the other games. So we've got two other games going on. We've got Clayton Humphries and Phil Naylor, which is currently 7 apiece. And I have had confirmation that despite the 30-minute delay, Phil did actually start on 0. So the 3 frames were got in the space of what must have been about 10 minutes, and it was 3 frames, and it was, I mean, that's just speed pull right there. Then you've got Mark Leathem on 5, Martin Horrocks on 10, and then in the other game, Tom Price is on 11, and Michael Murphy is on 7. What happened to the commentary is muted. Every so often I'll mute it, especially after the drinking scandal of 2024, which was me being too loud with my slurps on the old, what even is it, slush thing. What's that? Nah. No, it's just melted already. Melted quick enough. 7 apiece? Yeah, that was the score of the Clayton match. It's now 8-7. Clayton has won a game since then. I've since been told that Clayton Humphries bangs in 147s for fun, I think the phrasing was. So he's clearly a class snooker player. Phil, however, is a brilliant pool player. And he doesn't just play the game, he plays the player. So knowing full well that Clayton can pot from anywhere on the table, when you are someone like Phil, you are not going to want him to have that opportunity to pot from anywhere on the table. You can top throw on this and just take it to the top left. I mean, positioning is perfect. Not much more you can want from that. Fantastic. 10-6. He's not out of it yet. Still a good pot. He's still got the opportunity. If he just drops this in, he should be able. I was going to say to get the angle to come across the table, but he might have just gone a bit too far here. So he might be looking for the double. That is an absolutely brilliant shot, and if he can block the double, it's even better. What a cracking shot. Yeah, that's definitely the shot you want to get. And now the question is, does he try and play it safe? If he does, there's a massive risk. Massive risk. And that is the risk right there. Heard from somebody to take your time call. I think it's needed with Michael. He plays very, very fast. Scores Clay. He was last 8-7 up. He is still 8-7 up at the moment. I think he's left the black by a massive margin. And now all he's got to do is just play a bit slower. Just follow it in. I think Michael is definitely playing relatively erratic at the moment. First two, so this one is first to 21. The Clayton match is first to 21 as well. The only difference is the first to 18, which is that of Mark Leathem and Martin Horrocks. I tell you what, he can't pot the straights, but he can pot that, and that was one hell of a shot. Hampered cue. I tell you what, he can't pot the straights, but he can pot that, and that was one hell of a... It's fantastic.
Tell you what, he can't put the straights, but
beautiful shot. I think at this point we might have even have had time to have taken another look at the shot, and then maybe even time to take a look at 20 other shots. No, I'm just messing. Mark knows full well that he's very good when it comes to pathing. Today must feel like you're working for 1 hour compared to last week. Mate, today doesn't even feel like I'm working compared to last week. So for anybody who doesn't know, last week we did a 24-hour charity match, which I believe the donations are still open. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. But that was for Chris Douglas and his partner's mum, who had pancreatic cancer and underwent surgery at Royal Liverpool. So they're raising money for the pancreatic unit there. It was a successful surgery, so all good. And Chris did 24 hours. He did 373 frames of pull, and I was crazy enough to decide to do the 24 hours, but on the streaming side of things. I did admittedly have a 15-minute sleep, therefore I failed. Chris didn't. He somehow managed to stay on his feet for the entire for the entire 24 hours. And then, from what I heard, then stayed in the club until like 10 p.m. So didn't even get any sleep after that. How many frames did he win? How many did you win in the end, Chris? Was it like 180, 170? It might have been either just under a half or just over half. I think it was just under half. Unfortunately, you've got to remember he played the likes of Gareth Hibbert, Dave McNamara and Tommy Jones. So those three, and I mean he almost beat Tommy as well, but those three are almost like guaranteed losses because they're pro players. And then Dave Arnold played out of his mind as well. He played brilliant. And then unfortunately for I can't even remember who it was now. Jeffers. Unfortunately for Jeffers, Chris decided to take out all the frustrations of the losses beforehand on him. Absolutely demolished him. He was just playing out of his mind on that frame, and it was heartbreaking because Jeffers is such a good player. Dave McNamara was not funny when he shook his hand. Dave McNamara managing to break and dish in an Iron Man mask that he can barely see in was just crazy. Oh, Dean. Yeah, so Dean was 24-16 up. I don't think there was any way for Dean to lose. And somehow Chris just won 9 frames on the trot and beat him 25-4. And it was hilarious to watch because at that point in time, Chris had already played I'd probably say half of the games. He'd probably played about 140 frames. Back in the hot seat again, man. Was epic last week. I appreciate that, Chris. Appreciate that massively. It's been good this week. I've already had some people complaining about the fact that I slurped my drink. They said I should have muted. I told them to do one. It's hot today. I'm allowed to drink. No one bans me from drinking. It's not even alcohol either. It's a slush puppy. If you ever see me in the hot seat at Ultimate Pool or IPA, just know I will be drinking a slush puppy. I will be making slurp sounds. Mark just deciding what on earth he's going to do from here. I don't blame him. I don't think there's too much disagreement that this is Red's frame to lose. It's certainly not Yellow's to win. Good first pot. And now, I think you've got a set of choices really, because you can always play this one in the bottom left with a bit more power. Just bring the cue ball over to the right hand side of the table and then take the closest of the two reds, or you can just drop it in and have played the bottom red first. But I think the reason you'd want to leave that bottom red to last is it leaves a really good angle if you can get back to the left-hand side of the table. It leaves a good angle to then drop the black into the middle, which I think is what he's going to be looking for at some point. I mean, that is a hell of a lot of power. I don't know if the black goes past the very top left yellow. If it does, he can take either red last. But I think for ease, of play, I'd definitely be looking to take that left-hand red last, because the angle to leave the black to the middle is just perfect. It was perfect. Now he has an issue. As they say, the only problems we face are the problems we create. They don't say that, I just made it up. However, it seemed pertinent to this particular moment. If that had gone in, that had been a brilliant shot, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, it was very unlucky. The whole game's been great so far, but there's just been a lot of minor mistakes. Mark taking his time, and I'll tell you something, this is one of the first times where I can say the amount of time it takes is definitely justified, because he's got to get it right. He hasn't, and now I think there is, it's fair to say, a natural kind of rhythm to this. Top left, top right once he comes back round. I mean, he may, to be honest, he can take this to bottom corner now. That's also fine. He's got his choices. He's in a perfect position to take both. Yeah, I think this is the right decision. Yep. I think though, where he laid earlier with that white, I think he was in a prime position to take that yellow in the middle of the table to the bottom right, because there is, I mean, the way he's been queuing, I'm not expecting him to be missing this, but there is that potential he runs too far or not far enough. Yeah, I mean, he's going exactly to the pocket he wanted to earlier anyway. So he'd already contemplated it once. Yep, great shot. And that'll be 11-6 to Martin. It's well played. Just moving over, as we've had a foul break from Michael. 13-9 now to Tom. Closing the gap a bit. Don't know who you are, Michael Murphy, but I'm your biggest fan today. I respect that. Bit shorter, and he had a really good angle to get on the problem yellows at the bottom. Don't think he does now, though. Tell you what, he's unlucky. He is unlucky. Oh, it's good. It's not great. It's just good. If Tom can get the screw back on this red to mid, he can then leave himself a half decent angle. Stun was fine. The reason I thought he might want a screw, it was just to take the one on the bottom first, so that he's not left with two problem balls. But I think he might be almost dead straight. He tried, he did try. He did try. You could see him jacking up the queue as well. I think he's now thinking, what is he actually going to do to get himself on it? Because from where I'm sitting, and I'm sitting almost directly behind the pocket, it is unbelievably straight, this.
Come on, sweeter lad. Come on, sweeter.
You can see what he's gone for. He's gone to absolutely punch it through, so that even though he's straight, he can give himself a little bit of an angle. Yeah, that's well played. Slight screw. Take the black into exactly the same pocket. Yep, perfect. Well, I hate to say we're calling it sometimes in here, however, I think it was definitely called. It was definitely called what was going to happen there. Many fans here? I wouldn't say so. I'd say each of our home players has got 4 people, I'd say. In fact, no, I'd say Clayton and Phil don't have anyone by the looks of it. And Mark and Martin have about four fans each. And then I think Tom's got 1, and then a few for Scooter. See, I've got to say, I actually don't hate the angle on the top right red. It looks like he's going to try and take it to mid. It's going to be a wild white. Can't remember his name. I think it's Lewis. A great pot from Scooter. He's been unfortunate to have absolutely nothing left for him. I think every single pocket is blocked by a red on the yellows that are in the table. But those same reds aren't blocked by the yellows, which makes it really difficult for yellows in this position. I think something can almost be said for playing the top yellow, playing it on the left-hand side and leaving the white as close to that red that's on the left as possible. But it looks like he's going to try and roll it down table instead. I don't hate it. The problem he's got now is he's left this bottom red that wasn't potable before potable. I mean, I'd back myself to be going for this, and I think given the way that Michael had been playing, I think Tom had been playing, sorry, I think he could have backed himself there. Well, I mean, the yellow isn't potable, but nor's the red now. Oh, the only thing I don't want to see, I don't want to see him moving it out too quick. I might even be inclined to play the yellow on the left into the red and just knock it down the rail a bit. You've got to remember they are playing international rules as well, but you don't want to be leaving it hanging like that. See, if he just tops this through just a tad, he's then got the angle on the second one at the bottom to clear out the problem red that he's got. Well, it's got to be said, he's got perfect angle. Yeah, the angle on it was absolutely spot on. These friendly matches or cash? These are cash matches. So this one that we're watching now is for 2k. The one on the other table is for 4. Where do I find the new rules of pool? If you type in international rules pool, 8-ball pool, you should be able to find them, I think. But if there's ever any shots that get made that you're not too sure how they've been allowed, feel free to kind of let me know. So the other table players, we've got Clayton Humphries and Phil Naylor. We've got Mark Leathem and Martin Horrocks, and then we've got this game as well. And obviously, depending on how this shot goes, as expected. So 14-10 to Tom Price, and then the Mark Leathem game is Martin Horrocks 12, Mark Leathem 6. And then Clayton Humphries is starting to take lead now, 12-9 against Phil Naylor. The thing with Mark is no matter how far kind of behind he is, he always, without fail, looks calm and composed. Which I think, especially if you're his teammate, that can, not his teammate, sorry, his opponent, it can leave you feeling, you know, a bit almost uncomfortable. That's a great shot. What a shot. That's a great shot. What a pot. What a pot that was.
That's a great shot. What a pot.
He's kind of gotten away with that. The queuing on this is hampered to hell. If there's ever a situation you don't want to be in, it's this. He's almost played that perfectly, though. Almost played it perfectly. This should be relatively easy clear. I think I've seen him in, yeah. I know I saw him in earlier.
Is Jack Maloney in this chat?
Is Jack still about? I know I saw him in here earlier. Can imagine you're probably still watching. Potentially not. Oh, I mean, it's a good shot, but this is definitely the deciding shot, this one. Yeah, he is in chat.
Is he in the chat?
He is in chat. He is.
Yeah, I'm speak.
Yeah.
Jack Malloy, come out of retirement, mate, if you're the best.
Jack, you've been called out. You can't deny it now.
AKA Jackpot.
Jack, you've been called out. Get out of retirement. Fully retired. He said fully retired.
Fully retired, I'm afraid. I'm not. I just want to see what he said.
Where's he said that?
He said fully retired, I'm afraid.
Ah.
I'll tell you what, you can't be fully retired and be born in 1989, mate, I'm afraid. You can't have an 89 in your name and say you're retired. We've got Phil Naylor playing over on the table over there. The Clayton Humphries match is 14-9 to Clayton now. 1990 I was born. Hey, you got the 89 at the end of your name. Oh, you definitely can't be retired then. 21. So 21 at the far end, 21 on this one, 18 on the Mark Leathem. Yeah. Nah, you can't be fully retired before you're 35. 25 years playing, I called it a day at 34. Well, pretty sure there's a couple of people who want you out of retirement to beat you. Tell Clayton to check his phone. Pretty sure if I disturb Clayton in the middle of a match that he's now absolutely steamrolling ahead, and I'm pretty sure he'll kill me. Tom going yellows. These three aren't the issue. He can just play this pretty much a stun. Don't think he's going to want to roll too much forward. See, now the problem is if he screws back, he might not be left with anything too great, and you always run that risk. But he's played it. He's played it well. He's got the plant. He's got the cannon, which he's played. He's played before. Nah, he's gone safe. I don't hate it. He's also trying to clear out his problem ball by forcing Michael to play the red beside the black. He's going to break a match over. No, he definitely wasn't thinking that. I mean, here's the thing, Tommy. I want to pretend he was thinking that because it was the right thing to be thinking. You know, like what he was thinking here is he's just going to play a safety and trumpet it behind his second yellow. See? That's what he was always going for. I'm telling you. It's not about what you know. It's about what you can blag. It's a good shot. I think we'll need an adjudicator for this shot because I imagine he's going for that yellow into the left corner, knowing full well if it opens up, it's going to open both of his balls. No, tell a lie. He went safe. He's got red. I mean, he's got the clear if he wants it. I think there's enough of a gap. Well, safety in mind. Can I pretend he's played that one as well, Tom? So you can pick the ball up. He's got to put it, I think, left-hand side of the top red. Yeah. Sorry, when I said left, I did actually mean right. He could have put it either side, though. That's all right. Safety in mind. Well, how much is this for? This one is for £2,000, I believe. Yeah, £2,000. It's a good pot. Where does he go from here? Question of the day. I mean, he would have left the white fantastic. Any big games? All of them. Every game that plays out of here is big. But no, we've got this game on. We've got Mark Leathem versus Martin Horrocks. And then we've got Clayton Humphries and Phil Naylor on the far table, which, if I'm honest with you, I think, based on the standard of pool I've been watching from those two, probably would have been a great game to have had on one of the streaming tables. Just unfortunately, Clayton left us waiting 30 minutes, so we couldn't put him on. Yeah, he's come too far up on this. He's now got a difficult shot. He's got to go for the cut. And now we're going to be seeing Scooter come to the table. Scooter can definitely take the bottom one first. I think he should be taking the one actually closest to him first, not this one. But that's a phenomenal pot. Wow, what a pot. What a pot. How much are they all for? So this one's for 2k. The one that I'm about to move over to in a second. Just after this goes in. Yeah. So this one that I've just moved over to, this one is for 4k. And then the final one on the last table that we're not showing today is for 1k. And the one that's at 1k is currently 15-9 to Clayton Humphries. Clayton did go 3-0 down, and I think at one point it may even have been 9 apiece. And I drank all of the slush puppies, and now it started pouring down with rain and it's no longer hot. So, you know, case in point, if I ever drink slush puppies, get your umbrella out. Who's the next big game there? 20k plus. That isn't something I actually know at the moment. I know that there will be some, and I know that the money matches happen, or the challenge matches happen quite frequently in McNamara's. As to when the next one is, could not say. So the other match is currently on a minor break. John Roberts versus Geldy. Oh, didn't know they were playing. Didn't know they were playing for a lot. Chris Douglas versus Tiny, 6th of September. That'll be a good game. I'll enjoy that. Have I been to Sharks? I was there yesterday. McNamara's wasn't holding their Friday flyer, so I went to Sharks to play in that. I won my first game against Rob Lannin, 3-1. And then got absolutely demolished by Nathan Morris. Absolutely demolished. Reverse dished me. Almost broke dished me. And just trashed me. It was miles better than I was. can't even blame it on me playing badly. I didn't play badly. He just played better. Just played better on the day. Like I said earlier, Mark isn't out yet. Mark holds his nerve very, very well. And if he can win this, 12-8. Getting better, Nathan. Yeah, Nathan. Tell you what as well, Tommy, he's such a lovely guy as well. He was so lovely to talk to. Proper nice lad. You there for the game, Anto, in the final? I watched the game. I did watch the game. It looked like a very, very good game, actually. Being there in person, it did look fantastic. Is this a tournament? It's not. It's challenge matches. So each player is playing their own races for a set kind of price. Guys, thank you for the follows of this live. It is hugely appreciated. However, I would also like to point you in the direction of the new Twitch channel, which is McNamara's Sports Bar. So if you do get a chance to take a look at that as well, that would also be appreciated. It's only got 6 followers at the moment. It's only started today, but it is needed. You know, we're looking to be at some point one of the first sports bars to be a Twitch partner. Hi, John. How's your day going? Oh, it's going fantastic. I'm watching a good caliber of pool. I can never complain when the caliber of pool is good. Albeit a tiny bit slow at times. I think we can probably all agree on that. But I tell you who hasn't been slow, Michael. Michael has not been slow to any degree. Just going to move over tables quickly because we've got a good opportunity for Michael to get a clear here. He's just given 2 shots by Tom, so he had ball in hand and he's played it well. Yep, fantastic play. And we'll just flick back over to the one we were previously on. And Mark, who was 12-6 down, is in a good position to make some headway. Might be in an even better position if that red lands on the cushion. It hasn't. But I think Mark has a good opportunity now to get these problem balls out. He just plays almost just off right onto that right hand one. I think he could have cleared both of them out. I'm not too sure I'd be looking to clear too much out of the way of the table at the moment. It's up with Tom and Michael. Tom and Michael were just shown a second ago. They are 15-12 to Tom at the moment. I think we could be seeing Mark here going for the plant. And if he gets it, because of where that yellow is lying, it will come off the cushion as well, so he'll have a great opportunity to get both. Oh, I tell you something, it should have dropped. I don't know how it hasn't. Still a good shot though, because I mean he's not left anything. And when he gets back to the table, he's then got that yellow just really softly played down the cushion. You're looking to sneak this red behind the two yellows on the left. If he can get that, that'll be class. He's not got it, but he has now caused modicum of difficulty for Mark. And then we've also just seen a foul on the Tom Michael table. So Tom having ball in hand. It's still not an easy clear for him, so he won't switch back just yet. But there is that potential that Tom can get them all here. He's got 2 on cushions, which are going to leave him a slight bit of an issue. Yeah, just as expected earlier from Mark as well. Looking to play that one just down the rail. It's looking good. It's a good line. Oh, that's a fantastic line. I think we know what's coming here. These kind of things don't take a genius. I think he's got just enough visibility of the left-hand side of that top yellow to be able to get a really, really frame-ending snooker. Because it should also clear out the problem that he's currently faced with. Mark's thinking long and hard about the decision he's going to take next. You've got to hand it to him. He needs to take that time as well. Because I do think that this shot is probably the decisive factor in this frame. I don't think he's got the snooker, and he also hasn't got the shot out. Need a shot clock for this one. I know it's taken some time, but it is for 4,000, so it's not anything to sniff at, and it's not the easiest decision to make either. As I said, I think that one shot decided the whole frame. He didn't get the yellows out as much as he'd have wanted to, but he's now got a second opportunity to get the snooker. And we've got to kind of bear in mind that first shot was played so well that he didn't have much opportunity when he came back to the table. Martin, that is. And now Mark's back at the table. He's got that same shot that he wanted the first time, but it's got a much better angle to get it. I tell you what, though. If he can get this, if he can just drop... I think it's fair to say the game is decided at this point. If Martin pots this, he wins. All he's got to do is just a slight bit of stun screw to the bottom right pocket as we're seeing it. And I think if he gets it, he'll leave himself still on that red. He just doesn't need to play it. He doesn't need to play it hard at all. And that's the important thing. He just needs to drop it in. These tables are playing like lightning at the moment. You know, I respect the attempt. I think he had to make it, and I think that decided the frame. But he had to give it a go. Yeah, great pot. I assume he can see the top one. I didn't think he could. I thought he'd be looking to come a little bit further. Yeah, absolutely fine. If he could see it was a great shot. If he couldn't, then yeah, he had an issue. Well played. And that's pretty much what we were saying. Those two shots, the first one was definitely the frame ender. When Martin came back to the table and just didn't have much to go by, it left him in a really difficult position that the next shot was always going to pose an issue for him once Mark got back. And it did. It absolutely did. But Michael, we've discussed this before, a bit erratic when it comes to moving around the table. All of the yellows are there to pot. It's just getting onto the yellow on the top left that could cause a bit of an issue for him. It looks like he's got onto it. He's not onto it just yet. I thought he might have been onto it there. He can get the cut, but the white ball's going wild. So he's just got a foul there for hitting the red first. I'm glad to hear that. Well, one of the only problems that yellow had has now been cleared. Hampered queuing. Brilliant shot though. Yellow doesn't go to mid, so he might be looking to screw this back now. The problem he's got and the difficulty that he's got is getting onto that yellow in the middle. It absolutely is live. Well, unfortunately, I think Jeffrey might be drunk. Well, this is definitely going to be game on, frame on this one. Because that black, I believe, passes through between the reds, and if it does, it's just a simple case of playing yellow to one corner and black to the other. So you are live. I am indeed live. Now it's glitching a bit. I thought the same at first. Oh, is it actually? Okay. When you say it's glitching a bit, you're talking about because I've got the... Because I'm showing the replays. Because I've got a feature in my system that lets me kind of snap a replay. So it might not be a glitch. It might just be the replay that I'm saving and then replaying. So for example, once Mark plays what I assume is going to be yellow to mid, I'll take a replay and just kind of show you guys how it looks. So what I can
I'll
then
take
do
a replay
is just show this.
and just
And
kind
the
of
reason
show
it's
you.
glitching is just because I'm showing it at
how it looks.
75% speed. And then we go back to full speed. Just in case you were wondering why it was doing that. Only the best in the streams for you guys. The scores on the doors are Clayton Humphries is winning 18-11. I think at this point he may pretty much already won. Michael Murphy is losing 13-16 to Tom. And then Martin Horrocks, as we can see, is beating Mark Leathem 12-9. Did somebody pot? So if you potted the colour and the black, whoever potted the colour carries on. If you don't pot the colour, you don't carry on. So just a rule clarification. So for people who aren't too aware of international rules, when the black is potted on the break on international rules, it's placed back on the black spot or as close to it. If you pot a colour as well as the black, you carry on your visit. If you don't pot a colour, play just simply moves to the other player. It's not over. It's not over, GH. It's just because Clayton was wandering over to us, but it was for a rule clarification as opposed to telling us it was over. So I thought just because he happened to get to 18 already, and one of the games today is 2-18. I wasn't sure if his was 2, but just a rule clarification. It's been sorted, been clarified. It is a very, very different rule to every other rule set. Two great games we're seeing though, and they are absolutely fantastic. Well, I get what he was trying, but what he's actually done is, I think, given a wide open opportunity now to Martin. That's a great first shot. Not sure how straight he is on this, but if he's too straight, he might just have to top through just to get the second one to the other corner pocket. Idea was good, but the execution wasn't. Yeah, absolutely. Idea, I think, was, given his situation, the right one. He knew he wasn't going to be leaving it safe. But yeah, execution. Execution wasn't there. Happens from time to time. He's been playing some great pool so far. It's a good pot through, and he does have the angle to get it into the middle, and once he does, the natural lie of the white is going to be perfect for the black to the bottom.
Come on! Come on!
There we are. Perfect from Martin. And we have also just seen Michael taking another frame as well. So what was a fair bit of a gap, it's closing a lot quicker than I thought it would. So only 16-14 to Tom. And I think the argument is there, anything can happen. Got to make sure he pulls that white ball just slightly back. It's a great break. That's a fantastic break. Oh, those reds look absolutely delightful. The only problem he's got is that black. That black does not look pretty. So Tyson, one game. So this game that you're watching now is international rules. They are playing for 2,000. The other game is black ball rules. They are paying for 4,000. The black does get doubled. He's just got to slow down. He's a fantastic potter, but the problem is the cue ball is just wild. Scott, I'll be getting back onto Mark's game after this frame. It's only fair that each team get a frame or two. I think we watched most of Mark's frame last. Yeah, the cue ball at the moment is it's just flying around the table. There's not much control. In fact, if I'm completely honest with you, the person who's probably shown most control of the cue ball today in all of the games that I've watched has actually been Martin Horrocks, who I think has had, you know, one of the best cue ball controls. So scores on the doors across all of the games. So we've got 18-12 to Phil Naylor, to Clayton Humphries, against Phil Naylor. We've got 16-14 to Tom against Michael Murphy, and then 13-9 to Martin Horrocks against Mark Leathem. Yeah, Martin's cue ball control has been the best of the day. Like, the thing is, I wouldn't even argue in saying that it's been close either. Tom's has been on and off. It's been great at times, but because of how bad it's been at times as well, I can't credit him with having the best cue ball control. Where's this going on? This is going on in Ormskirk, just northwest of Liverpool. See, like here, this should be a very standard finish, but because the cue ball control's been out, as if to mark the point that I just made. Well, I couldn't possibly have called that any better than was just called. So he's just going to probably look to just top this through, take the black to middle. See, that's how you do cue ball control. I'm not going to compliment it. It was relatively easy at that point, but that's how you do it. 16-15, a hell of a lot closer than I think a lot of people would have thought this would have been. Love it. Tommy is just... I don't do if, buts or maybes. I do absolutes. Score is Mark, 13-9 to Martin. And I think if Martin is on yellows, you know what? Maybe I'll retract the statement from there's been any good cue ball control today, because by the looks of Martin's face right now, he can't see either yellow for the pot. Alright, I'm not sure what he was disappointed about if he could see that yellow for the pot. Okay. Well, the cue ball has left a little bit to be admired on this shot. He's just dramatic. I think we're seeing that now. Where he's got the shot to the middle pocket, and if he gets it, he's actually got position on the black anyway, so he's not completely lost. It's just tough. It's got to be said. I think that might have actually been going in. I think it was. I think unfortunately for him, I think if that hadn't hit the white, that was trebling into the bottom. That was almost a good one. It did. Scott, I'm going to agree with you there. I don't think he was playing that either. Well, we know that Mark's been playing quite passive and very defensive, so I wouldn't be surprised if he plays the top of these two reds and just leaves the white nestled onto the bottom of the two. He's followed that sort of path every single game he's played in, so I really would be very surprised. And in the other game, Tom's got ball in hand. Just the one, because it is international rules. But I think we'll just move over for now. Just because I think Tom has the potential to clear, and I don't think Mark is going to make a decision before Tom actually clears the entire table. I lied. Mark's now made his decision. And it was a fantastic pot as well from Mark. And you all missed it because I changed over. Tough. Get over it. You'll live. At the end of the day, this will be a cracking clear to see as well if he manages it. I would switch back, but Tyson, as I called earlier, the total has happened. And I do just want to see if this ends. You don't get to see the black ball. Just trust that he's going to make it. Yep, Tom made the black. That's all you need to know. So scores across the other games. We've got Clayton Humphries, 19-12, just 2 frames away from victory for Clayton. Then we've got Tom Price, 17-15 up against Michael Murphy. And Martin Horrocks, as we can see, 13-9 up against Mark Leathem. Considering that Clayton's match started a whole half an hour after everyone else's and he's almost finished, it's just a testament to the speed at which Clayton plays. He is a fantastic potter. It's... Right, look, hear me out, Mikey. Here's what you've basically just said to me. Is spelled Latham. What the f... Right. Right, I've been told it's Leathem. And if it's not, you can leave me the fuck alone, okay? So, back off. I'm trying. But no, I'm alright, thank you.
What were you saying it was?
Leathem. Look, everybody's allowed a mistake. These guys have had 50,000 pull mistakes. Start picking on them. Leave my enunciations alone. I'm trying. I am trying. It's still higher quality. Still higher quality commentary than you'll get anywhere else. Clayton's the best player out of these 6 lads. He should be playing for more and on the stream. I completely agree. Completely agree. I mean, you can't really say too much about that. What an unreal shot.
And on the stream. I completely agree. Completely agree.
Well,
I mean,
you're not getting better than that today. Fluke, that might be, hear me out, one of the best shots I've seen of the day. And I don't actually know.
I completely agree.
I think he's gone for the left-hand pocket.
Agree.
I don't think he's gone for the double. But the fact he's got it, he's going to take it.
I mean,
no, he has apologised. You can actually see him. You can actually see him in the replay put his hand up. So he definitely meant to go for the bottom corner pocket. He's gone for the left pocket. He's got the double. He's fluked it in. It's still a great shot. No, he definitely hasn't went for that. The reason I can say he hasn't is because if we'll watch it one more time, you can actually see his left hand. He puts it up to apologise for the shot that he's made. So watch him put his hand up. He takes it off the cue, puts his hand up. You don't put your hand up if you've gone for the pot. I'll tell you that much. Just recording it and sent it to the lads. I do not blame you. I honestly don't blame you at all. Just going to switch over because we've got Tom on the table and he's got a monster of an opportunity to clear. And I'm just wondering how he's looking to go about it. I think he's looking to get the problem ball off of the yellow cushion now with this pot. And he's done a brilliant job of it. He's not been rewarded too much. But now he can take that bottom yellow. How are you? Wonder if he looks to take out the black. It's got a difficult pot now. And he's not going to look to go for it because it's a difficult pot. Yep. So he's gone for the double. He's gone for the pot and he's gone for the safety. If he gets the pot, he's still on something. If he doesn't, he knows he's safe. Yep. He's fine on that. So normally that would have been a foul if the white hadn't hit the cushion, but when the white came back, hit the black and then hit the cushion again. So fantastic shot from him. I think everyone was watching to see if the white was going to hit the cushion a second time. Who's taking the shot now? So the person taking the shot now is Tom. Tom's taking a shot.
No, thank you. If you want one, you can grab one. I take the card just in case she charges. It's no ready with just saying very quick.
Oh my. You know what that reminds me of? The shot we've only just had. The thing is, it's not game done yet. He's absolutely deserved that though. That's a cracking effort. And that one, that was intentional. So he's looking to go all the way around. I mean, I don't necessarily think that was his best shot, but obviously it was for him. That's a great pop. Can't fault it. Can't fault it at all. High risk, high reward. He's taking the risk, and he's just taking the reward. And then for anybody who's wondering what the Clayton frame is, it's 19-14 to Clayton. Phil trying to claw his way back. 18-15 to Tom, 14-9 to Martin. And for anybody who's liked the commentary today, put in a petition to Ultimate Pool, to the IPA, and say, we need the lad Dave McNamara streams to be doing more commentary across pool. Using you guys as my reference. And that is why I've been saying Martin has one of the best whites. It's just been unfortunate that he's not in exactly the position he wants. But he's still got a lot to go by, so I don't think he'll have too much of an issue here. Just depends on whether he goes for red by the black as he is, or the red by the yellow. Yeah, that's why I'm not too much of a fan. I assume he can see the pot for the fact that he's gone for it. Yeah, great pot there from Martin. And once he just drops this into centre, he'll be on the black to the corner. Yep, just using that yellow as a stopper. And it's going to be 15-9. 3 frames left for Martin. And double the current score for Mark. He's going to have to pump this through if he wants to get anything. You always run the risk of missing whenever it comes to this. But I think you can just drop this one into the top left. He'll be on line to take the one just above it, which is his only problem ball at the moment. And when he takes it, he should be able to come back out for the yellow to the bottom corner. It's not what he's going to want, because he has left a very unfortunate screw back angle for Tom to be able to get this. Unfortunately for Tom, he's gone right into the line of the red, and now he doesn't have a pot, he doesn't have the double. What's in the winner's pot? So for this game, the winner's pot is 2,000. For the other game that we've been watching, which is Martin Horrocks versus Mark Leathem, sorry, for anyone who corrects me for the umpteenth time, that is currently 15-9, and that's in a race to 18. This is a race to 21, and then we've got one more on match table 3 that we currently don't have a stream for. That is, I believe, 20 now to Clayton. No, 19-15. I apologise. It's not 2014. Right, look, it's either Leathem, Leathem. Okay? I can't give you definitive correct information on that. What I can tell you is I'm not getting it right, and that's all you guys need to know. Off cushion in mid? Yeah, that's what he was looking for. See, here's where I'm probably putting it to take this bottom yellow first, because I think the angles to get onto that mid yellow are so easy from where he is. I don't think he needs that mid yellow first. I think that bottom yellow is the one that poses an issue, which he is going for. And then he's actually got two options. I don't think he'll take... I was going to say I don't think he'll take the plant because it runs the risk of the yellow going wild. And that was always going to be the problem with it. Yeah, at this point I think he's a bit annoyed with himself. That he's not taking the right shot in the first instance. He's got to be careful of where this white's going now. Who gives a what the name is? Just watch the pool. You know what? I agree. Given how absolutely stellar Tom's screwback shots have been, I think he probably backs himself to screw this back and get perfect position onto the black. Unless he goes too far. Unless he goes too far. As the snooker commentators would have said, where's the cue ball going? Fortunately for him, cue ball's stopping just short of the pocket. It's going to be 19-15. And then Martin on yellows. Screw back off of the one closest to the red. And then on the next shot, if he's got the angle, he can just drift through the gap to get the yellows into exactly the same pockets as each other. If he doesn't have the gap, he'll follow through, but I think he's got it. I'll tell you what, the white might go a little bit too far, but it might also hold on this red on the left, on the right hand side, which I think it's going to do. There we go. Perfect hold. The angle clearly wasn't as tight as it looked either. Scoring Clayton's game. Clayton is currently winning 19-15. He was 18, I believe 12 ahead. But Phil is just starting to claw his way back. I think he's probably left it a bit too late in the game to do that. Michael can definitely get a win in this frame. What's the cloth for when racking? It's to protect the table. So, because of how often the balls are placed on the table, they can basically just create little imprints. It can damage the cloth, it can damage the slate, which is the bed of the table. So the cloth is designed to lessen the impact when players are racking the balls. Because obviously it should be the only time when really the balls are landing on the table is when we're placing them on. It's why you don't see a racking cloth being used in 9-ball, because obviously jump shots are commonplace, so there's no real need. But in 8-ball pool, jumping is very, very infrequent. That's a good white. Good white. You can follow it through. Take the red to the middle, and then take the black to the same pocket as the red. And now all he's got to do is just drop the red, and then just drop the black. Is this a tournament? This is not a tournament, so these are challenge matches. So this game is for 2,000. The other game that we're about to flick back to. This one is for 4,000, and both games are just 1 and 2 frames away from completion. This one, I think it's fair to say we're definitely in the realms of a very tactical frame for this one. But Clayton Humphries is now only 19-16 ahead. Phil Naylor has won 4 on the trot. Any more games after this? There aren't any more games after this today. So today, the stream will end once these games have finished. But what I can say is the challenge matches are relatively commonplace. In fact, I'm not going to say relatively. They are commonplace at McNamara Sports Bar. So you'll get a lot more of these. Stream quality will always be the quality you're seeing today. The quality is something we pride ourselves on here at McNamara Sports Bar. And if there's ever anything you guys want to see in particular, do just let us know. Drop us a follow, comment on some of the videos. Just let us know what you'd like to see from games going forward. I think this is going to be very tactical, so what we'll do for now, just because we're reaching the very end stages of this game, I think we'll move back over to Michael and Tom. Tom to the table with a very, very good lie of the Reds. He's got one issue, which actually, if he's screwed back from the red that's on the bottom right, he would have actually had the opportunity to clear it then. But he's not looked to do that. Might instead be looking to do it now. The Clayton Phil match. Clayton is now 20-16 ahead. He's won his first frame in 5. What's the difference of this pool type with the normal 8-ball? Why does this type have a smaller table? I'm not sure what you mean by normal 8-ball. I assume you mean billiards, potentially. So billiards is played on a much larger table. You can do a lot of different things. Normally played with spots and stripes. This is just English 8-ball, or just 8-ball as I think it's known now. Aussie tables are bigger also. I didn't know that. I did not know that. The Chinese 8-ball tables are also bigger. And Chinese 8-ball is an incredibly difficult game in comparison. I used to play, so when I lived in China, I used to play some Chinese 8-ball. And the Chinese players are just unbelievable. There's a number of just the local casual players that I would back to beat. If I'm honest, the majority of pro players and it's just it's incredible. I thought billiards are also called 8-ball. I mean, it technically is. It technically is. There's no problem calling that. 8-ball just refers to basically the amount of balls you have to pot. Is what it refers to. So 9-ball is called so because there are 9 balls on the table. 8-ball is called so is because there are 8 balls, your colours and the black inclusive, 7 of your own, and obviously the black. Much is on this. Welcome back, McCoon, by the way. So 2,000 on this one. There is 4,000 on the other table. But at the moment, the other table is going through an incredibly
Michael, don't forget to put your score on.
So Kean, the players are in charge of their scores. Michael just forgot to put it on. This is the first time these blokes have played pool. I do know what that is. It is, I believe, it's called Karom. So the table with no pockets, it has a very, very unique pool kind of set of pool rules. And I believe it's called Carom Billiards. It is. So Carom Billiards is basically a sport where the aim of the game is to hit both balls in one shot, I believe. So it all works out on angles. I imagine they would be fantastic when it comes to the kind of cue ball control on a table. I imagine they're probably not so great at the potting element because that's not what the game is about. It is all about cue ball control. Are these players professional players? They are not. Who funds the prize money? Themselves. So they both put up the same amount and basically paying each other for that money. Who is at the table just now? So Tom Price is currently at the table. Michael Murphy is in black. Or if you'd like it in boxing terms, in the red corner, on a score of 20, we've got Tom Price. Da, 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 da. And he has played an absolutely cracking set of shots. In the red corner sounded legit. What can I say? I'm not going to put the Horrocks game on just because if Tom pots this, it will obviously be his frame winning, and I think it's only fair to keep that on for now because this is the absolute kind of end. Yeah, and it's a very, very good call there. Obviously, Tom was in the way of the camera, so I wouldn't have been able to see. I didn't think it touched the cushion, but he's called it himself. It didn't touch the cushion. Very, very fair play, especially given the fact he's on his final one. That is incredible sportsmanship there from Tom. How many games to go? So Clayton has now won. For anybody who was interested in the Clayton Humphries game, Clayton won 21-17. Tom is currently on 20. Michael Murphy on 16. And Martin Horrocks on 16. And Mark no surname, is on 9. Well, a massive miscue there from Michael. And unbelievably, it hasn't actually costed him. Never heard that rule, so you have to pot or hit a cushion on every shot. Correct. Correct. What a shot. Tell you what, he might not have potted that, but let's just take a look at that red again.
Also, you have to pot or hit a cushion on every shot. Correct. Correct.
Fantastic.
What a
fantastic
shot.
white. Should have chipped in middle. It did look like it could have gone middle, but it's so hard to tell. So hard to tell. The fact he didn't go for it means he did not think that went. Guess it doesn't matter if it's a cue ball or coloured ball to hit the cushion. It doesn't. So all that has to happen is once the cue ball makes contact with a ball of any colour has to then hit a cushion. Is this new rules? I mean, so it's international, so this is international rules. Is it new rules in the sense of, are they new rules? No, they're not new rules. So they've been standard for a fair few years now. So I tell you what, phenomenal pot from Tom, and such sportsmanship to not kind of go off his head when he won. Absolutely cracking victory. He played so well as well. 21-16 to Tom, and unlucky to Michael Murphy. We can now move over where Martin is looking to take the black that is going to put him on the hill. And it's going to be 17-9 to Martin. 1 frame remaining for Martin to win. Now Mark has to go on a run of 9 frames to be in with a chance of victory. League I play in the rules are called new rules. I love that. I genuinely love that. Frank, it is pounds, so in dollars, I think that'll probably equate to about $22.50. I think it will equate to $22.50. I tell a lie at the moment. The exchange rate is a lot higher, so it's actually closer to 2,600. Can the black ball ever be a 2-shot? In what rule does it fall under? Yes, the black ball can be a 2-shot. So in every rule set that has 2 shots, the black ball is actually a 2 shots. It is only in, I believe it's old pub rules, really, where the black isn't 2 shots. So, for example, in international rules, because there is no 2 shots, there is no potential for the black to be a 2-shot. In black ball, black is always 2-shot. Where are these games being played? Ormskirk. They are indeed being played in Ormskirk, just northwest of Liverpool, for those who don't know where that is. How much does each player put in? They put in half of the total amount, so the £2,000, they'll each put in 1,000. And then this game that we're currently watching is a 4,000 one. And just a shout out for Tom Price to Selexmo. Yep, we're all back now. Every so often it will cut out if you do shout outs for certain things. So I think it didn't like the fact we were giving a shout out to some competitions. If I take my shot, hit my ball first, pot it, and pot opponent's ball too, do I play on? Pub rules, no idea. So it all depends on what the kind of local rules are for your area. In terms of international rules and black ball, yes, you play on. The only time it doesn't count is if in international rules, if you are on the black, you pot your black and your opponent's colour, you lose. That is not allowed. Combination shots on the black are not allowed. However, combination shots in black ball are allowed. Been a great stream. Thanks for sharing it. Absolutely. I appreciate you popping by, Frank. Pub rules usually a foul. Pub rules, it is usually a foul. Yeah. Most pub rules are a foul. Pub rules used to go, I believe, by like old world rules. And world rules was a foul for that. And then world rules sort of got phased out slowly but surely. All games are now finished. Just the one left. And Martin, like I say, has been playing fantastic. Any games on after this one? There are no games on after this one. After this one, unfortunately, you will lose my presence. You'll lose the presence of the stream. I know. Shed a tear. Dry your eyes. And then get ready to tune in next week when it'll be all back on again. Is Martin the one in a bowl? Yes, he is. Basically, what you can say is one in the bright orange fluorescent clothing, or is one in the kind of standard casual wear. I tell you what, though, from Mark's perspective, it's got to be irritating that it's not been off-putting. It's one of those that he wears it well, but it's distracting as hell if you're trying to play. Tom Jones versus Gary rematch? No idea. That's been played in Cork. Sadly, I have no idea on that one. Be useful if the colours were on the scoreboard. Andy, I will take away what you've said there, and I will try and make that a reality for next stream. Unfortunately, I can't make that a reality right now. I wish I could. Really do wish I could. I mean, what a shot from Mark there. He's been really unlucky to not get away or to not have anything out of that, given the fact that was a fantastic shot. Great stream, enjoying the match. I'm glad to hear it, Sean. Obviously, the goal of this every single time is to make the stream as great as possible for you guys. The aim is always to rival those of the absolute top streamers, and I think it's fair to say we do that quite well, actually. I know something that is missing from a lot of the more kind of local sports bars is the commentary. Could you repeat Mark's recent shot? I actually can't. It's only if I save the shots themselves, and I can't save all of them, sadly. So all it does is it just saves the last shot that was on, and then I can kind of repeat that. But once too much time passes, 10 seconds to be precise, then it's too long. Tell you what he is looking to do, though. I think, knowing that it goes to the bottom right, Tyson, I wouldn't say he's cooked here. I wouldn't say that, because if he can get just a tiny bit of left onto this, he just needs a little bit, which I think he's got. He's got the pot to the bottom corner, and if he gets it, he's then got the black to the bottom corner, or even the black to mid. Oh my word. I mean, you can't really argue with that, can you? What a clear. What a clear. Let's see if we got both shots in that. Yep.
Oh my word.
Perfect. And goes and takes the black to exactly the same pocket. Yeah, that was a great clearance. You show again? I can indeed. So we had a long yellow to the bottom right.
Oh my word.
And then had the black long to the bottom left as well. Great commentary. No. As much as that is your name, I am saying no as well. Instead of it being great commentary, it's great play. At the end of the day, the commentary can only be as good as the players. Well, okay, hear me out. I say that. I'm pretty sure I can make it sound good regardless, because I'd just start pulling them apart. But I'm not that mean, so I will never do that. What I will say, and I am going to say this, I think this could be curtains. The only problem ball Martin has here, if he takes yellow, is black. That's the only problem ball. I think he's going reds, and I don't agree with that decision. I don't agree with that decision if he goes reds here. I think he's got to take yellow to the mid. Like the replays don't get that on many streams. Yeah, I wanted to kind of give something extra, and I think there was a lot of shots that we didn't get the opportunity to kind of replay, and I really wanted to replay them. How long did it take you to get over that 24-hour session, Mr. Commentator? I was very fortunate in that it took me no time whatsoever. My voice was all good the next day. Was it good immediately after? No, it was not. It hurt. It hurt to speak. Hurt to breathe. So I think whoever said Reds does look like you were right. I still think the problem that he's got is actually getting onto the one at the bottom in a way that gives him the angle to take that black. I can see where he's looking to take it. He's obviously looking to take the black into the top corner, and I can understand why. I just think there is a lot of room for this to go wrong. Did you stay awake and have an early night, or did you get some kind of jet lag? No jet lag. I've done quite a few of the 24-hour streams now. Normally it's gaming, and I'll do them for charity. But this one was just... I had a 15-minute kip during the day, and then didn't really have too much of a sleep. Went into middle and black double. I don't think he's going for the black double. I think the black's too close to the cushion for the double. So I think the double kiss is too much of an issue. What I think he's looking to do is just play this with a little bit of top right. In fact, he might just be able to top it through. I don't even think he needs right. And once he tops it through, he's just hoping to get a good angle on the black to just play it down. Said that before he took his shot. Yeah, that makes sense. And he's got it. Well, what a way to win. Fantastic set of games here over at McNamara Sports Bar. Just watched the final black for the entire stream. Absolutely clinical. The black to finish. And it was, I mean, great clear. What can you do there? He's got, you know, it's worth saying he's got the break dish on it. That's nothing you can do if you mark there. Right, everybody, thank you very, very much for tuning in today. Been lovely to have you guys. Cracking quality of the stream again. Should be on TNT or Ultimate Pool app. I appreciate that. That's what we always like to hear. If I knew you'd went for fluorescent green, maybe you would have won. He might have. You never know. Thought it was the 21. Not that one. That one was only 218. 21 was the other two tables. So the 221s did finish first, but they're quite methodical players playing on that one. So unfortunate to Mark. Congratulations to Martin. And for everyone else who's joined in today, thank you very, very much. See you again next time we stream over here at McNamara Sports Bar. Lovely.